There's no doubt about it. Crypto is making big waves. You've probably been hearing more and more about it on the news and heard people talking about it more. But there are those who've been just reading the headlines and discussing it, while others are getting busy to work on becoming part of this revolution and grabbing the huge opportunities. Welcome to alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. If you're not subscribed yet, you're missing out. Aluxers, if you're still not convinced of what opportunities crypto has to offer, well, get ready because we're about to spell it out for you. Number 1. It'll be the main currency in the future. One thing the economic crisis of 2008 showed us is that traditional banking systems are flawed, and it's been confirmed in 2020. More and more people are seeing the need for viable alternatives, and that's exactly what crypto offers: a secure, decentralized form of banking that takes governments and banks out of the equation. And the crazy thing is, even banks realize it. Just listen to what Germany's Deutsche Bank have to say. In their Imagine 2030 report, they talk about how fragile the traditional money system is, that by 2030, over 200 million people will be using digital money, and by then, traditional money will be already on the way out. And it's not just Deutsche Bank. Twitter's Jack Dorsey has said he believes Bitcoin will eventually become the world's single currency. Elon Musk has stated that crypto is a far better way to transfer value than a piece of paper. China's state TV has called blockchain, the technology that makes crypto possible, 10 times more valuable than the internet. Number 2. You need to get familiarized with the technology. It's the biggest technological invention since the internet, so if you're still not up to speed with it, you're behind. But the good news is, you're still in time to start playing catch-up. Just like in the 90s when the internet was taking off, there were those who resisted adapting to it. And there will be those people with the blockchain and crypto revolution. But do you really want to be one of them? And just like we now rely on the internet for information and communications, it's soon going to be the same for financial transactions using blockchain. So if you're not familiar with using it yet, now is the time. What are you waiting for? Number 3. You'll position yourself better for opportunities in this space. Sure, you can make and receive payments with a crypto account. You can use it to save, but the really big opportunities come with investing in crypto. Just take a look at Bitcoin. If you'd invested $100 in it just 5 years ago, by now that $100 would be worth $2,500. Or if you'd got into it really early with that $100 10 years ago, it would be worth $1.9 million. The price of Bitcoin is still set to keep going on up, sure, with blips here and there, and to be fair, probably not as dramatically as it did before. Other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, Litecoin, Dash, Ripple, and Lisk also have huge potential to grow and bring great returns to savvy investors. But to know which coins to invest in, you need to get educated and get some experience under your belt. So why waste any time? Now's the time to get crypto savvy and learn to spot the opportunities, because you can be sure there are huge opportunities waiting. Number 4. It's a solid alternative for saving your money. We've already talked about crypto's long-term upward trend. Let's compare that with regular money. If you took $100 in cash, buried it, and waited for 10 years, the amount you could buy with it a decade later could be a lot less than when you put it in the ground because of inflation. And leaving it in a bank account isn't going to be much better, if at all, because of the interest rates in bank accounts, which vary from 0 to extremely low. Disclaimer: yes, crypto is more volatile than most currencies, largely because it's still new and gaining traction, like at the start of 2018 when the price of Bitcoin tanked. But remember, it's more or less recovered since then, and its upward trend is likely to continue and win out on any volatility, and that's what makes it such a great option for long-term saving, something that will beat any interest rates banks can give you. Number 5. You're safe from inflation. So we were just talking about inflation, now let's spell it out in full. The problem with traditional money is it's always going down in value, and this isn't by accident. Governments and central banks do it on purpose, especially when there is a financial crisis, or this one in the year 2020. At times like these, there's a shortage of money, and governments try to get around it by printing more. In fact, 22% of all dollars that exist today were created in 2020 when the Federal Reserve injected $2 trillion into the economy. Making money appear out of thin air might sound pretty neat until you figure out the catch. There might be more money, but the amount of goods and services it's chasing stays the same, and the value of the money goes down compared with the value of those goods and services, and that is what we call inflation. That's why smart people trust gold more than money, because when there's an economic crisis, new gold doesn't just magically appear out of nowhere, and it holds its value. And Bitcoin and other crypto, just like gold, don't get created as a short-term fix to financial problems. That means that crypto also holds its value and it's inflation-proof. Number 6. It's way easier to get into crypto than you thought. Just in case you thought you needed a PhD in programming or maybe in finance to get into crypto, we'll tell you now, you don't. A smartphone with internet access will do nicely. In fact, crypto is way easier to get into than most traditional investments. First, because it's got high liquidity, that you can buy and sell it easily and quickly. Second, there isn't a high threshold to getting into it. For stocks and bonds, usually you need to put a large sum of money in, and you can't just put down $100. With crypto, you can. Better still, there's no institutions, no paperwork. Just get an account, get a wallet, track your assets, and it's pseudonymous. You don't have to give any documents or even your name. But we realize there's still a lot of confusion and not many people understand how this space works and how to take advantage of it. That's why we decided to create the best course out there to guide you step by step through everything we've learned about Bitcoin and blockchain